just one day I was just standing in the living room and I prayed and I asked God to give me something from Him to let me know what His success was like for my life. And maybe 3 weeks later, I was just laying on the bed and I heard a man talking on TV, and it was HGTV, and he was painting, and when I looked at it, I knew that I could do it. And I just said, well, I know they don't call that art because I can do that. And a voice just went off inside of my head and said, oh, you can? What would you do? And I said I would paint my childhood. To me, and to a lot of other people, they call it outsider art, or most of the time the artists are not trained and they are painting from their heart. It's whatever they feel. I paint my childhood. So when I'm painting something about the family, if it's sad, I feel sad with emotions, or maybe crying because it could be so sad a moment. I was here in Morganton, and I seen the artwork at Signature Gallery, and I just walked in and I asked the lady, I said, you know, I paint in bright colors like this. She said, you do? And she said, well, let me see you work. And I took some paintings or some snapshots of pictures inside, and she said, this is real folk art. She said, now we're going to have a show in Atlanta. She said, you need to be there. And she gave me some tickets, and I went to Atlanta. And when I got there, Sam was there, and he introduced me to some people. He told me he was going to introduce me to some millionaires, and he did. I couldn't believe it. So I went inside the show, and for the first time, it was just like I got a rush. I understood what they were talking about. It was so much art that I just couldn't believe it. And none of the artists had any training. This guy from New York, he took my work into his booth, and it sold at an alarming rate. I took about 36 paintings, and in that day, 30 of them sold. And he said, would you like to paint, you know, and let the people watch you paint? And I said, yes. And we went to Lowe's Hardware, because at that time I didn't understand artists paint. And so as quick as I would paint one, somebody would buy it. If it's happy, then I'm laughing as if the house was full of people. And you see the pretty bright colors. It's like you see the picture clearer in your mind than what you can paint it to get it on the outside. And it's about, for me, it's a lot of love and feelings about home and growing up, you know, in a large family.